Hello everyone, my name is Abdulaziz Alshobaki, Master of Public Health and Epidemiology candidate, and today I'm going to present an interesting... Hello everyone, my name is Abdulaziz Alshobaki, Master of Public Health and Epidemiology candidate, and today I'm going to present an interesting... Purpose and objectives. To determine the impacts of lead exposure on Picher, Oklahoma residents. To discuss the historical aspects of mining and milling in Picher, Oklahoma, and to emphasize the effects that lead contamination and other heavy metals in the environment have on young children's blood lead exposure. To estimate the costs and health consequences of environmental health event disasters. To address the level of intervention in terms of public health issues. Table of content. First of all, purpose and objectives. Second, Picher, Oklahoma overview. Table 1, Picher, Oklahoma residents. Figure 1, soil lead level in Tar Creek residential area. Figure 2, blood lead level in Picher, Oklahoma children aged 1 to 5 years old. Figure 3, blood lead level in the United States children aged 1 to 5 years old. Figure 4, airborne lead contamination, then summary and references. Picher, Oklahoma overview. What brought this city to life would eventually bring it to its end. That's a famous statement of Picher, Oklahoma, which means after the city discovered to have the largest mining production and became famous of minerals afterwards, the city became abandoned because of the same reason. Picher is a ghost town and former city in Ottowa County, northeastern Oklahoma. It was a major national center of lead and zinc mining for more than 100 years in the heart of the Tri-State Mining District. Picher was the most productive mining in the Tri-State Lead and Zinc District. Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri produced more than 20 billion in the ore from 1970 to 1947, which is almost 30 years. More than 50% of the lead and zinc used in the World War I came from the Picher mining field. The majority of Picher's town buildings were seriously damaged by decades of using unrestricted drilling and mining, which left a huge piles of toxic metal contaminated cold shot all over the area. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency included the site in the Tar Creek Superfund site in 1980s due to the discovery of cave-in risks, groundwater contamination, and health effects associated with the shot piles. Children were playing on the piles and putting them in their sandboxes unaware of the toxic danger, as well as the subsurface shafts. Mining activities on Picher population over the years. Table 1 shows that the Picher residents from 1920 to 1960. In 1918, Picher incorporated and it had population of 9,726 in 1920 and it peaked of 14,252, which is almost 70% more within just 6 years when mining and tailing was at its height. Then the population started to fall steadily from 14,000 to 5,000 in 1940, and it's decreased about 50% more to 2,553 in 1960 as the mining activity decreased as well. Figure 1 shows that the soil lead levels in Tar Creek residential area. The soil from residential areas such as residential yards, daycare centers, playgrounds, and parks is regarded as a finished exposure pathway for areas depicted in Figure 1, with soil lead levels of at least 500 milligrams per kilogram. Mine tailings are the primary source of lead contamination in the site's residential area. The use of shot as fill and for surfacing driveways In addition to the deposition of airborne dust from tailings piles and ponds, led to the transportation of the tailings to the residential properties. Figure 2 shows that children aged 1 to 5 years old with elevated blood lead level in Picher, Oklahoma from 1995 to 2003. As we have seen here, there is sharp increases from 1995 to 1996 and then started to decrease steadily to 1997 until 2003 after implementing Oklahoma children lead poisoning prevention program. Figure 3 shows the contrast of the previous slide that was in Picher, Oklahoma, and this one blood lead level for children 1 to 5 years old in the whole United States. It peaked in 1978 with 25% increases compared to 1990. However, beginning in 1990, the blood lead level began to fall gradually with 50% less than the previous 12 years, and it has continued to fall until 2004. Concentrations of lead in the blood taken from children aged 1 to 5 years old. Lead poisoning can have long-term effects on the brain, nervous system development in children who are especially susceptible. Figure 4 shows airborne lead contamination. That the lead measured in Tesla in the early 1980s is roughly comparable to the mass flux of airborne estimated to be in Picher. We substitute the mass flux in Miami for mass flux in Shawnee Lake because both Miami and Shawnee Lake are approximately 18 kilometers south of Shad Piles. As a result, we estimated that the contribution of airborne lead to the overall leaden flux in Shawnee Lake sediment is approximately 9.75% with an increase in the mass flux of lead in the air. It is likely that airborne lead makes significantly larger contribution to aquatic environment near Shad Piles. And finally, we concluded our presentation with a quick brief summary. Studies discovered that Shad Piles and the Picher mining area in northeastern Oklahoma contain disproportionately high concentration of lead and contain less than 20% of the fine particles that are susceptible to wind-borne transport and human inhalation respectively. Airborne lead in Picher is 2 to 5 times higher than major metro area in northeastern Oklahoma. In order to address lead poisoning and other heavy metals contamination in the environment, the EPA established the Tar Creek Superfund sites in 1983 and contains to clean up Picher and other affected areas. Due to mining significant environmental risks and the damages caused by the EF4 tornado in 2008, the entire population of Picher was evacuated and the town was dissolved. Community-based intervention Oklahoma Children Lead Poisoning Prevention Program was established by the Health Department of Oklahoma. References. Thank you.